Mizkif once again has created quite the stir, quite the amount of drama. But honestly, I don't honestly think this is too big of a deal. Obviously, some people dislike what he just said, and some people find it truthful what he said. But all in all, considering the things that he has been in the past 2 years, all the stuff that he has been involved, I would call this absolutely nothing to even worry about. But what did he really say that got so many people ticked off? We can listen to it, and then we can think about it a little bit. Because what mizkif said did create a very interesting discussion. Are big streamers because they're good? Or are big streamers because they got lucky? And that is what we are actually going to be looking at here today.
I know people want to bitch and complain and say, oh, I'm a small streamer and I don't get any viewers. Yeah, do better. I don't know what to tell you. Go on TikTok. Make more TikToks. Do more YouTube shorts. Try to grow outside of the platform. Because if it hasn't been obvious for the past 6 years now, you're not growing on Twitch anymore. That's not how it works. You have to find discoverability through other places. But people like to complain a lot and say that it's Twitch's fault. It's not Twitch's fault. It's your fault. Do a better job.
Twitch streamers relying on YouTube or TikTok to gain a following is absolutely ludicrous.
No, it's not. How is it ludicrous in the slightest that someone's trying to go on and works on TikTok and YouTube? Of course you're going to. What the fuck? What else would it be? You think that Twitch should just... How the fuck would Twitch, for thousands of small creators every day, push the smaller creators? And people don't want to watch smaller creators. Most people want to watch the bigger streamers, and they want to watch people that already have a community. And I want to watch a lot of people that understand and already have, you know, experience and they're professionals at Twitch. Like,
this is a very interesting opinion, a very interesting thing to state. The truth of the matter is, this is very nuanced, because everything that he said here is not false. Some of this is very, very true. And the most true thing that he definitely said and did tick off some people is the fact that, yeah, most people do not try hard enough. 99 out of 100 people that want to become Twitch celebrities will not even actually stream for a single day. They will just want to become that without putting in absolutely any effort at all. And then the one person out of 100 who actually tries it, he's gonna stream for 3 days, maybe a maximum of 2 hours per day, and then after those 3 days he's gonna be like, oh, well, not famous, probably not worth trying, and then they're gonna give up. If you want to become famous in these things, you cannot give up instantaneously. You need to grind and put in the hours. That is true. Without that, there is absolutely no hope in you succeeding. And that is the part that he got right. But then there is the part that, well, a lot of people are quite pissed about. And extremely rightfully so. And that is the question. Well, are big streamers like mizkif big because they are good at Twitch? Or did they get lucky? And, well, people are extremely pissed at mizkif for saying things like, oh, in the last, saying stuff, for example, like, in the last 6 years, you can't rely anymore on just growing on Twitch. And then he says, for example, do TikToks and, you know, stuff like that. And we can look at mizkif's own TikTok, for example, because the thing is why people are mostly actually unhappy with this opinion is the fact that, well, mizkif doesn't follow his own advice. Mizkif did not become famous on Twitch because he did all of those things. This is mizkif's first TikTok video, and it was posted on 2019-10/30. Essentially, the very, very end of 2019. And you know, when you look at this like this, for example, this is almost roughly 30 TikToks later. And when we look at when this was actually published, this is pretty much the end of 2020. So it means that mizkif, who is telling you that, oh, you need to make TikToks to succeed, you need to make YouTube to succeed, he made roughly 10 TikToks per year. Yeah, that's not success. That is not success. And then we can look at things like, for example, mizkif's YouTube channel, which also started uploads only 3 years ago, not before he succeeded. And mizkif has been streaming, as much as I can tell from Google, from 2016. Essentially, or even a bit earlier. And mizkif for 3 years literally did not have almost a single viewer. He was an absolute nobody. Do you know how mizkif got famous? Well, he became Ice Poseidon's cameraman. You know, Ice Poseidon, one of the people who was literally the biggest thing on YouTube for quite a long period of time. The biggest IRL streamer that YouTube had for a very long period. Yeah, mizkif lucked out and became his cameraman, and then Ice Poseidon threw him multiple bones, and that's how mizkif's career started. Before that, mizkif grinded for literally 2 to 3 years without any success. He did not take into account a single thing that he did. And maybe he's, let's give mizkif a little bit of a break here, okay? Let's think of it that mizkif's saying, well, nowadays you need to do this. And nowadays, mizkif does upload quite a bit of YouTube videos, quite a bit of TikToks, literally everything. But then again, you kind of need to understand this. mizkif doesn't even tweet his own tweets anymore. Everyone in OTK pretty much has one guy running all of those accounts, and he just tweets for them. There's an account, well, obviously those creators do tweet on their own also, but all of those accounts are managed accounts, okay? There's a person tweeting on everything that's currently trending. Every single one of these TikToks that mizkif has uploaded, he didn't actually upload. It's someone cutting small pods that look like good TikToks out of his stream, and he has absolutely no clue what's happening here. He doesn't do any of this. And exact same thing for the YouTube. Well, maybe sometimes he does something specific, and it's kind of intended as YouTube, but you get the point. This is a person who got famous by getting bones thrown in his direction from one of the most influential people on Twitch at the time. And then he's telling other people that, oh, you need to work harder. You need to do this and you need to do that to become big. Well, he did not do any of this. Now, I will say, granted, every single Twitch streamer that currently is famous definitely is putting in the hours. And they are putting in way more hours than almost anyone would be willing to do. But in the whole grand example of what's currently happening with, Twitch and everyone who is famous, for example, we can look at them, and it's quite easy to know what they got famous for. For example, XQC, absolutely huge content creator on Twitch, right? Absolutely huge, right? How did he start? Well, Overwatch came out, he became a competitive player, and Overwatch, when the time he was a competitive player, was literally the #1 game in the world, okay? And he got all of his fame, all of his everything from that. Then we have someone like Sodapoppin, for example, as you can see here. Sodapoppin is one of the absolute OGs of this platform. Currently, a lot of people who are getting 10+K views are one of the OGs. Sodapoppin started Twitch when there was almost no competition. And you know how he got famous? He pissed in his own pool, harassed his parents, and, well, did a lot of things like that. Now, if you do that at days, you get banned. But that's how Sodapoppin got famous. His friend NMP literally only got famous because he was friends with Sodapoppin. And now he's doing very well for himself, by the way. But again, these people, everyone who is pretty much just of the biggest creators on Twitch nowadays, you can trace them back to when Twitch was a small platform and they just did this for fun and they did not know that what's going to happen with them in 5 years, that they're going to be like multi-millionaires because of it. No one did it really intending that, knowing the outcome. Asmongold started his stream when World of Warcraft was absolute at the peak of his popularity. Admittedly, he previously had a YouTube channel, but he didn't start Twitch knowing that he's gonna become a millionaire. He just did it, and considering he was one of the only people who streamed it and he was really good at the game, and again, World of Warcraft was absolutely at its peak of popularity, pretty much almost at that point. The huge drop-off did not happen at that time. You know? So, there's a lot of luck involved. Every pretty much big personality on Twitch that currently exists, despite, except a couple of, are literally can be traced back to just something lucky. Forsen even. Forsen got popular at the time when Hearthstone was the #1 game in the world, okay? Where Hearthstone was the most popular thing that even your granny knew about, okay? Forsen got his popularity from being a competitive player at that time, you know? Without that, would a lot of people make it if they didn't start it at, you know, when the competition on Twitch to become famous was, you know, roughly 1 against 100? Not 1 against 1 million that it currently is? It's kind of hard to say. For example, do you think someone would honestly find XQC nowadays? XQC's popularity comes from literally 90% children. 12-year-olds and such. Most of the people who watch XQC are 12-year-olds. And 12-year-olds are very, very badly known to go into a game category and scroll to the bottom to find someone new to watch. For example, if XQC needed to start from scratch and he was not known by anyone, I don't think he would make it anymore. Because there's no hit game that's coming out anymore. You know? A lot of these people were at the right time. Sure, they definitely did take the opportunity and grinded and put in the hours, but nowadays there are a lot of people putting in the hours and still nothing's happening because you need something to get yourself kind of lucky, you know? Even if you look at the hot tub section, you know, there's a lot of girls doing the same thing. And they're all literally the same, but some of them have 20 views, some of them have 200 views, some of them have 2,000 views, and there's literally no difference between them, except the fact that one got a little bit more lucky than the other. And there's a lot of things like it. I think there are very, very few people on Twitch that honestly could just make it if they started from zero and they were unknown. The best example of this would be probably Dr. Disrespect. Even though even Dr. Disrespect's popularity kind of hinges on Day 1 Z1 a lot. Because that game just suddenly blew up and he kind of got his start there also pretty luckily. But I do think that that is a guy who most likely would, you know, go to a bank, get a loan, and risk everything to become something if he needed to start over again, not being known by anyone, you know? There is definitely that. Then there's videos like Ludwig's, can you start a Twitch channel? Not a Twitch channel, but can you become successful YouTube from zero? Well, he made a video, and that video is fake. Because he used multiple opportunities to boost that video's popularity by talking about it on huge platforms. So, you know, that video is essentially fake for all intents and purposes. And, you know, there's a lot of good people currently on Twitch, but just being good is not good enough to make it anymore. And yeah, I honestly really doubt that people would make it on Twitch nowadays. I think the people who started 8 years ago and got big and are big now, maybe 1 out of 100 would actually make it. I think Trainwreck's TV, for example, would make it. I think Trainwreck's Pokimane would make it because those people got their popularity by literally doing absolutely everything to leech off of the other current big creators on Twitch, and then they made it. You know, people like that are definitely gonna make it, and you know that's a hustle and that's respectable because they actually know how to play the game. But when we're talking about someone like mizkif saying, "Oh, you need to do this and that," and he has not done that, obviously people are gonna be kind of very pissed. It is what it is.